I asked my parents to stay with my pregnant wife while I was away for work. They made her do all the housework despite doctor's orders. I banned them from meeting my twins after they refused to apologize. My wife Kayla was 30 weeks pregnant with twins when my company sent me to a job site 4 hours away for a month. High-risk pregnancy. Her doctor told her no heavy lifting, no standing for long periods, no stress. She was supposed to rest. I didn't want to leave her alone for that long, so I asked my parents if they'd stay at our house and help out. My mom said of course. My dad said we'll take care of everything. I believed them. I set everything up before I left. Fridge was full. I prepaid a cleaning service to come weekly. I left a list of Kayla's medications, her doctor's number, her appointment schedule. I told my parents the only thing she needs is rest. Please just cook and make sure she's okay. Mom said stop worrying. We raised 2 kids. We know what we're doing. I left on a Monday. Kayla called me Tuesday night. She sounded tired but said everything was fine. By Thursday her voice was different. I asked what was wrong. She said nothing. I'm just worn out. I pushed. She broke down. Your mom told me if I'm going to live in this house I need to pull my weight. She's got me doing laundry, loading the dishwasher, wiping down counters. She said being pregnant isn't a disability and she worked up until the day she delivered both her kids. I called my mom immediately. She laughed. Kayla is being dramatic. I asked her to fold a few towels. She's pregnant, not dying. I said, Mom, her doctor said no overexertion. She's carrying twins. This is high risk. She said doctors these days baby everyone. I was on my feet my whole pregnancy and you turned out fine. I told her to stop giving Kayla chores. She said fine. She didn't stop. I called Kayla every night after that. Each time she sounded worse. By week 2 she told me your dad asked me to mop the kitchen because he saw a sticky spot near the fridge. When I said I couldn't, he walked away. I called my dad. He said it was just the kitchen floor. The difference is her doctor told her not to. Your doctor, your rules, our house, our standards. I almost drove home that night. My boss told me if I left the site I'd lose the contract. We needed the money with twins coming. So I stayed and called Kayla 3 times a day instead. By week 3 she was having contractions. Braxton Hicks, her doctor said, but they put her on monitoring and told her to stay in bed. I told my parents she is now on bed rest. Do not ask her to do anything. My mom's response was, we're not her servants. 3 days later, Kayla called me crying. She said she'd been in bed all morning and my mom came in and put a basket of laundry at the foot of the bed and said since you're just lying there you might as well fold these. When Kayla said the doctor told me to stay in bed, my mom said the doctor isn't here and I'm not your maid. I drove home that night. I didn't tell my boss. I didn't care about the contract. I got there at 2 a.m. Kayla was asleep in our room. The laundry basket was still at the foot of the bed, unfolded. She'd refused to do it. I went to the guest room and woke my parents up. I told them to pack their things and leave in the morning. My mom sat up. What? You're kicking us out? I said you were supposed to take care of her. Instead, you treated my pregnant wife like hired help. She's on bed rest and you put laundry on her bed. Dad said you're overreacting. She's fine. She's not fine. She's having contractions at 33 weeks with twins because she's been stressed and on her feet for 3 weeks doing work you were supposed to be doing. Mom started crying. We drove 4 hours to help and this is the thanks we get? You drove 4 hours to sit on my couch and make my wife your housekeeper. They left the next morning. Mom didn't say goodbye to Kayla. Dad shook his head at me on the way out. I took over everything. I called my boss and told him I had a family emergency. I lost the contract. I didn't care. The twins came 5 weeks early. 2 boys. Small but healthy. They spent 11 days in the NICU. Kayla was exhausted, but she was okay. When I called my parents to tell them the boys were born, Mom said, when can we come see them? I said when you apologize to Kayla. For what? For putting a woman on bed rest to work. For ignoring her doctor. For treating her like she was lazy when she was growing 2 human beings. Mom said I think you're both making too much of this. I said then you're not ready to meet them. Dad called an hour later. Your mother is upset. She has every right to meet her grandchildren. She has every right to apologize first. He said we're not going to beg for forgiveness over some laundry. Then you're not going to hold my sons. He hung up. They won't change, so nothing changes.